In conclusion, after all the stories about cybercrime, illegal use of cryptocurrencies, hacking, and breaches of data privacy, many people unfortunately connect the rise of fintech with only bad things. They've lost trust in the institutions and innovators who are driving these changes. And to be sure, there have been a lot of scary stories that require immediate attention. But it's also true that these new technologies can change the world in so many positive ways. So, what do we do?
Well, once again, society has a choice to make. From a proximity standpoint, these concepts may seem so distant that we don't really take the time to understand or even question them. For example, we accept the terms and conditions of websites like iTunes and eBay so often that we have become desensitized and don't really think about the potential future implications. Be honest, how many of you actually read those? And for innovators, they're often so distant or non-proximate from their users that they can't empathize with their concerns about data privacy.
We have this seeming paradox that pits our legal right to personal privacy against the vast efficiencies and desirability of fintech innovations. For example, most people love their smartphones, and even those who don't really love them are reluctant to give them up because they've become so integrated into our lives.
But after a period of culture lag, we are all now becoming aware that by carrying around and using our smartphones, we are giving up some aspects of personal privacy. And we love the idea of being safe and secure, particularly from violent terrorist attacks. But when law enforcement asks large tech firms to decrypt our smartphones, that can be quite unsettling.
But has the era of privacy already passed? Have we already given up so much personal data via social media and our Google searches and purchasing habits that these questions about privacy are moot already? And from an accountability standpoint, maybe you think the big tech firms and banks are so big that you can't do anything about it anyway. I know that I have become so numb to the announcement of large data breaches that I don't even really think about them much anymore. But that probably needs to change.
In fact, maybe the opposite is true. Maybe since we are now more exposed than ever, giving up significant personal data on a minute-by-minute basis, we actually need to have even tighter regulations and controls on the firms who are collecting, using, analyzing, and sharing our data.
Now here's the part that many of you may not yet realize. The fact is that in many ways, we are not only the consumers, but are in fact the product that these large companies are trying to monetize. How do companies like Facebook and Google, which allow us to use their main services for free, make money? Data. Our personal data is what drives revenue at these companies and many others.
So, what should we do? How do we strike a balance between balancing our privacy and ensuring sufficient security and data protection? And who should be accountable for cybercrimes, data breaches, and other illicit uses of fintech innovations?
And what we're seeing now is only the beginning. As 5G connections and quantum computing become more common, data collection and analytics are only going to increase, driving the next iteration of machine learning and artificial intelligence, which you're going to focus on in the next module.